Diff.
Bye.
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 Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Death by Daylight. I am Josh. I am here tonight with Ernie.
What up everybody, how's it going?
I am here with Jesus.
What's going on, y'all?
And I am here with our special guest host, Gibby.
What's up, everybody?
So this is episode 19. We've got a little bit of... It's not a surprise, but we'll explain it eventually. You've got Gibby's gonna chime in when he wants to, but mostly he's gonna be playing, and the rest of us are going to be discussing. I don't know if Jude is showing up. Someone told me earlier, but I fucked it up and I don't remember. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. First, we're going to be doing the killer game. Gibby is going to play. What are you going to play as, Gibby? You didn't.
I'm going to be playing as the Huntress tonight. Trying to get some kills with some axes, throwing them at people. So
yeah. So one of the only streamers I've ever seen, that I actively watch, is really good at the Huntress, and she fucking kills people with those axes on the rig.
Like fucking miles away. Are you gonna do a miles away kill, Gibby, tonight?
I'll do my best. I lucked out on a couple of matches yesterday, so I'm gonna try and repeat that.
All right.
So Gibby's gonna be doing all of the playing this evening. He's gonna either stay as the Huntress, or if he does something different, he'll let us know. And you're going to get a little bit different from us tonight. We're going to be doing like a killer surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker!
We do know the name. You're gonna hear that a lot tonight. We do know the names of the killers that everyone else is doing. Like I know who Jesus and Ernie are going to be presenting, but we told each other that we would not be looking them up. So we're gonna try to kind of outdo each other here with like facts and all the shit that they did and all the fucked up shit that happened to them or whatever. And then at the end, we will take a vote between us, but you're also, obviously, the audience are welcome to participate, and we will decide who wins the killer's surprise. There's not anything to win except bragging rights, or, I don't know, we haven't talked about it, but we're definitely a little bit of a competition tonight, even after the drinking game.
You're gonna get a pass for Jude not to fuck your mom. That's the that's the winner.
I'd like to very much win that. That would be good for me to win.
There's one thing I do want to say before we start.
Go on.
Just rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman. We just got that news literally probably like an hour before we started this. It seems ridiculous to be so surprised by someone that has been battling cancer for 4 years dying, but he was not public with it at all, and so the rest of the world obviously is shocked as we are by his passing. What a fucking strong motherfucker to go and make a bunch of action movies while you're battling cancer. I mean, you don't get badder than that, so fucking rest in power. We'll definitely be cheersing to him as we get into the episode. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get into what we're drinking, and then I will let Gibby know when to start. Oh, well, we have Darren has his sent me his cocktail minute, and then we'll get into watching Gibby play. Again, if you'd like to play with us, if you would like to jump on an episode, maybe you have something you want to talk about that is horror related or serial killer related that we could talk with you about, please let us know. Jump in here with us. We'd love to have you. So in the meantime, Ernie, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Delightful. A raspberry lime Keystone Light.
Keystone Light, smooth as Keystone.
It's actually really fucking good.
I can
Is
second
it
that.
as good as a Natter Day?
Eh,
It's on the same level. I think Naturday's better though.
Think Natter Day is better. Well,
Natter Day, if you're listening.
it would take a lot. It would take a lot for Natter Day to be bumped off of my list, but obviously I have to wait to try it. So I'm looking forward to that eventually. And what are you shooting, Bullet?
Fuck, I didn't think about shooting anything. I don't think I have anything to shoot. I'm gonna go raid my liquor cabinet.
I know. I guarantee you have one thing at least in there to shoot.
it would probably be the crown.
No shit.
Crown is
shooting Crown Royal.
Crown, if you're listening.
Crown Royal.
I like Crown.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking would.
Yeah.
Fucking Hennessy drinking ass motherfucker.
Oh my god. Let's not talk about that. Anyway, I'm drinking a margarita right now. Straight
Delicious.
classic margarita. And then I'll be shooting up heroin. That's what we're talking about. No, I'm just kidding. I'm shooting bullet as well.
Shooting bullet, drinking margaritas. Sounds
Taking
like
doing heroin.
wish
Fun
you
night,
could be
boys.
on a boat. Kids, if you're listening, don't try it.
Try it once.
Gibby,
I mean,
Gibby,
just to, like,
what are you drinking here, Gibby?
I'm actually having the same thing as Rudy right now. We got that key full, so I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't put it above the Natty Day though, for sure.
Would not put it at. I drank my fucking fill of Keystone in Lubbock when I was in college. It was mostly what we drank was Keystone because you could get a 30 for just under $20, and it was easiest to go and get a bunch of 30 for our fraternity parties. Better times. I am drinking a Lone Star beer, delicious Lone Star, nice crisp Lone Star, and I will be shooting tequila this evening. I decided I was getting a little bit too melancholy with the vodka, and so I've been switching things up. Moving on to Darren's cocktail minute. I did get to see, or I did get to listen to what he said. So I can approve this message. Not that I ever don't. But here is our resident bartender, Darren, with your cocktail minute.
Alright, Josh, since we're doing surprise killers this week, we're doing a cocktail named after one of my favorite killers. Surprise, motherfuckers, it's Jack the Ripper. 4 ounces of Jack Daniels whiskey, ½ ounce of fresh squeezed orange juice, 2 ounces of cinnamon simple syrup, and 2 tablespoons of salted caramel. And you're going to shake all that up until it's frothy and pour it into a chilled coupe glass with a salted caramel rim. And with 4 ounces of Jack Daniels whiskey, this shit'll have you mysteriously killing prostitutes in Northern England in no time, sir. Back to you, Josh.
Thank you, Derry, for that fantastic cocktail minute.
Oh my god.
With 4 ounces of Jack Daniels whiskey. Really great stuff from our dear friend Darren, who hopefully will be back soon. Hopefully we will have him back eventually, and we would love to have him back, but he's a very busy, popular man.
Jack Daniels, if you're listening.
God.
Yeah, literally, if anyone is listening,
UK prostitutes, if you're listening.
UK prostitutes, Jack Daniels, Jack the Ripper's family, his estate. If any of you would like to sponsor us, that would be fantastic. But so Gibby's going to go ahead and start getting into the killer game. We're going to go ahead and start getting into the drinking part of the killer game, which is everyone's favorite part about this is drinking, I think. So we're going to be doing the rules for anybody that's new. I can't imagine there's that many people because there's only 3 people watching. But we'll go over the rules anyway for if you're watching this back tomorrow at noon and you want to start drinking, then you can go ahead and follow the rules. So the second and fourth kill are going to be a shot. The first and third kill are going to be a drink. You'll also take a drink if he gets a hook or if he destroys a generator that's already been fixed. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. We hope more people will join us as we go. We realize it's getting more and more difficult to be available on a Friday night, but we plan to be here. Hello, Juan. We love you too, buddy. Hope to have you back soon. And yeah, so how's everybody feeling tonight?
Feeling pretty good. I found something to shoot.
What'd you find?
Is it heroin?
Cherry rum.
Oh. Ooh.
Cherry rum sound. Oh, that's you were making those cherry vanilla drinks with them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So yeah, I decided I'll do that.
That
Sounds
delicious. That works.
So Gibby's gonna, or is currently jumping into a killer game. We appreciate him being here, and doing his thing for us because we want to all be very focused on what we're talking about today, or as focused as possible, because we really, if you don't know us in real life, we are very competitive people, and competitive with each other on top of that. Like, it's not just like we're just competitive, but we are particularly competitive with each other. So everybody, I think, wants to bring the thunder tonight and win this competition so that Jude doesn't fuck our mom.
I just want to hear some fucked up deaths.
Well, you'll get that. You'll get that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Alright, Gibby.
Fucker happened again.
What happened?
I fucking where I don't move my controller around, so it cuts me off. That's because I'm still not used to having the mic on attached to my controller instead of my PlayStation. But yeah, so we are also getting into a game that maybe if this blows up at some point and we could start doing maybe a couple broadcasts a week. I've been playing a game called Hunt. I don't know if any of you Dead by Daylight fans out there have heard of it, but it's really, really good. And if you're a fan of... It's not the same thing as Dead by Daylight. Not the mechanics, not the gameplay. It's very different, but it's really fucking fun and cool to play. And so you guys should check that out.
So, Gibby, what's your strategy going into this match here?
Well, right now I gotta find someone, and my whole plan is to be able to go ahead and start hooking them up, because I got the lullaby on. And with that, the more I do that, the more these guys get fucked up. They won't be able to hear shit.
Okay, so they won't be able to hear you coming when you're... They won't be able to hear you coming. I don't know why, but it's so fucking immature.
What are you, 12?
Yeah, I am. You know what they say about... No, I'm not gonna say.
No, do not, no.
That's terrible timing, Jesus. Terrible timing.
Yeah, no, alright.
Yo, all these motherfuckers are all right here at a bunch. Doesn't seem like a good strategy.
Ooh, you got a no mither right there. What a loser. If anybody wants to know what that means, it's you start the match fucking injured and you can never heal. But you can, if you get slugged where they just leave you on the ground, you can always pick yourself up. And you're 75% quieter. It's a shit perp.
Oh, that was a terrible throw.
Yeah, it seems like the trade-off is abysmal on that perk.
Yeah, because if they don't slug you, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
I like getting fucked.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh no, I've lost, I've got a slow feed here. Let me see if I can boost this real quick.
And we got our first hook, boys.
Nice, first hook. So anyone at home, that is your key to take a drink. Have that beer that you've been waiting for all week. At work, just dealing with motherfuckers that won't wear masks. And you just been thinking about this ice cold beverage. It's gonna make you feel all warm inside and calm. And now you get to take it because Gibby put someone on a meat hook.
That was good. That's one.
Oh no.
Are you guys watching the feed live?
Yeah.
It's saying that we're having an internet connection.
Yeah, I just saw that. It looks fine for me. Like on YouTube, it looks okay.
Okay. Alright, this is second hook.
Second hook, second drink. We don't usually pay this much attention. I'm glad that Gibby's paying as much attention as he is, because by this time, most of the time, we're bullshitting about something.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this time I'm the one that's playing, so I gotta pay attention.
Yeah. Also, anybody that plays DVD at home, if you log in and go to the store, you can click on the redeem code, and if you put entity please, they'll give you 150,000 free blood points.
Oh, that's real?
I see you.
Yes.
I thought you were just fucking. I thought you were fucking with me. Alright, I'll do that later then.
Why? How? What? How is that even a good thing to fuck about?
Yeah, the most that he could gain from telling you to do it and then it doesn't work is that you wasted like a minute and a half. It's not like it gives like your PlayStation some kind of virus and then it's like a hilarious prank.
Well, I don't know. It was like one of those fucking Uber Eats codes where like, it must be for new users. Fucking code doesn't work.
So we've got 3 hooks here from Gibby. We've got no deaths yet, but he's fucking killing it. Seems like he's got another person in his sights right now.
Are you gonna try to kill him off right away?
Maybe.
In case anybody else wants to know what other perks he has other than Lullaby, he has Thrill of the Hunt, which is the one at the top of the diamond there. That one lets him know when somebody is actually trying to cleanse one of his totems, and it also makes him clean him slower. The bottom one is Barbecue and Chili, so that one, that was a whiff, Gibby, god damn it. But,
yeah, this motherfucker is moving in serpentine patterns.
The Barbecue and Chili, what that'll do is, in case, well, not in case, when he hooks somebody, he can like turn around, and if they're like across the map, he'll see their aura for a little bit, so he can like head that way and know where they're at. And he also gets 50% more blood points for every person he hooks. Max of 4, so if he hooks each person...
Second hook for this Claudette.
Yeah, if he hooks each person individually, he gets 4 stacks. So that's 100% more blood points.
Give you 4 stacks.
One on the left is No One Escapes Death, aka Noed, which when the last generator's done, he can instantly like down somebody.
Nice.
So yeah, nice little build.
What's your take on Noed, Ernie, when you play against killers who have it?
We don't talk about that.
I know for me, as soon as I we get that last gen hook and then we get fucking Noed, I'm like, god damn it, son of a bitch, motherfucker has Noed.
Yep. Find the totem or
they just released her. Alright.
Yeah, Gibby doesn't seem to have the assassin-like accuracy of that.
Oh yeah, that's a far stretch for now.
Yeah, in case anybody is wondering who Josh is referring to, it's Umbra. She streams on Twitch. She's fucking phenomenal at Huntress. So that's on PC, so makes a little bit of a difference.
Bitch. And we got our first death, guys.
Death.
First death. Congrats, Gibby.
Death by daylight.
Fucking snaps all around for Gibby's first. Well, it's not his first kill on here because he's played with us before. But
has Gibby been on here before?
He played, yeah.
Survivor.
He played the Survivor series. Oh, then yeah, it is his first kill. For us, anyway. Because yeah, he was one of the survivors on the Survivor series.
Gibby, do you usually play with the Huntress when you're playing killer, or is this?
This is fairly new to me, but I catch on pretty quick.
What made you decide to choose Huntress?
I like the fact that you could throw shit.
Yeah. Those fucking axes are... those fucking axes are pretty sick. You have to be pretty good with her. I'm
second hook
very
for
terrible
this
with her.
person?
And you're gonna try to get me drunk, huh?
Obviously.
Yeah, I think that is what he's doing. And since he's actually paying attention, we're having to take a bunch of drinks.
Alright, let's take a drink. I'm gonna take a drink.
These fucking key light pulls are pretty fucking good. I'm about it.
I mean, I really like Keystone, so I don't see why I wouldn't like it, but...
And there's a little green French bulldog on the front with sunglasses.
I'm excited to try it.
I was just at Albertsons and I saw the box and I was like, it was
I had no faith.
hot pink, and I was like, no way they made a fucking rival to Natterday. And then I looked and holy fuck, they made a rival to Natterday.
And she's down as well.
Nice, that was a nice throw there, Gibby.
Thank you, sir.
That was a beautiful throw. There's the kill. We've got 2 kills here, Gibby, so that means that we're gonna take our shot, and our first shot tonight.
She's not dead yet. She's not dead yet.
She's not dead yet, buddy.
Oh, I have. Oh, I thought I saw 2 skulls.
Not quite. Not quite.
Almost. You almost had it there, buddy.
Jude is here.
Hola.
Hey, dude.
What's up, Jude?
Whose mom were you fucking right now?
Well, it all depends.
I don't know if that's accurate.
I don't know what that means. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't disclose, I don't kiss and tell.
I call bullshit.
Hopefully
Hey,
the moms don't either. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You know how when you came down from Phoenix and we showed you Natterdays and you liked them?
Yeah.
So there's a new one. They're called Key Lightfuls. They're
Key lime pie? Please.
No, they're they're not key lime pie, sadly, but they're raspberry lime Keystone Light, and they're just key lightful.
Key lightful.
God damn it! The name definitely isn't as cool as Natterday.
Natterday is clever as fuck. To be honest with you.
And it takes over a whole day of your life. Like, should I start drinking at 9 a.m.? Sure, it's Natterday.
This is a mimosa, right? This classifies as a mimosa.
And we got this guy down now.
Oh shit, give me out a kill. Let's take a shot.
Take a shot. This first shot. Usually we shoot to something that's already happened in the episode or something that we're going to talk about. Tonight, this is a very special shot that we are going to make to Chadwick Boseman.
Cheers.
Cheers, Chadwick.
Cheers.
Rest in power,
peace.
And it's game.
What?
Holy fuck, we're about to take another shot.
Oh shit.
Gibby.
Unless he gets a fucking... someone does a Kobe.
Nah, he already tried. Look, see, he's struggling
You can fly
already.
helicopters on this one?
Damn it, dude, not that close.
Oh.
There we are, guys. A 4K.
God damn, Gibby comes in and just fucking 4Ks
Dude,
on him.
I'm telling you, he's like unnaturally good at video games. Like,
You should be in
like
competitions, man.
Dude, straight the fuck up. Like, he really should just pick a game and then make millions of dollars playing
Dude,
it.
I remember this one time fucking
Guys.
Gibby hustled the shit out of me. Fucking Smash Bros. Just came out for the Switch, and I fucking pick it up, and then Gibby's like, "You're down to play?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." I haven't played. He's like, "Alright, cool." We're playing, he's whooping my ass. I'm like, "Damn, so you've had this game for a while?" He's like, "Actually, I ranked in El Paso number 2. I was like, "Oh, fuck you, Gibby."
This was way back then. I'm not as good as before, but
You're a humble man. We're gonna call you Gibbsy Hustle from now on.
Oh yeah, and Juan says Killer Instinct. Yeah.
Damn, that's a fucking good game. And Primal Rage, you can fuck some shit up, man.
Yeah.
Killer
If you
Instinct
guys
is
wanna...
a sour topic for me.
If you guys want to get a little bit more upset, Gibby barely started playing with the Huntress at like midnight last night.
Pretty much.
Drunk
Yeah.
as fuck.
No.
No, he wasn't drinking yesterday because he was hungover as dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's take this second shot to.
Second shot to Gibby's birthday the other day. Happy birthday, Gibby!
Oh yeah, happy
birthday,
birthday, Gibby!
Thank you
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Thank you.
Cheers, cheers, everybody
Cheers,
at home as well.
Cheers. I'm gonna take some tequila.
Fucking cheers, boys.
Alright, so
Cheers,
guys,
boys.
with this, I now have 4 Moris.
Did you go to the store and do the empathy, please?
Oh, I can. Give me a second.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, fuck my ass.
What are you shooting?
Oh, it's because I didn't take that first bullet at first, so I gave myself a double. And fuck.
So it'd be...
All right.
Where do I go?
Usually
So-
taking shots is so delightful.
Go back
today.
to featured.
Oh, featured? Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna probably
Redeem code, I see it.
botch my story.
That's a dope-ass killer.
Well, if you weren't playing Fall Guys, maybe you could concentrate better.
I'm not playing Fall Guys.
This man
Alright.
just pulled on himself.
I have Fall Guys open, but I'm not playing.
You're just listening to that
Do it,
sweet
do it.
ass song.
I don't think it
Fucking
went
bass
through.
drop.
Dude, that music is fucking sick as fuck. That bass is.
Hold
So,
on, let me...
Gibby, what you have to do is put it in and then drag your cursor
Yeah.
over to the X.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Is that possible to do?
That sounds a little kinky. Like you got to do a little stretching before you get there.
I'm gonna put it all the way in you and drag you all the way from here to that X over there. You ready?
And there we go.
Alright.
See, Jesus proof.
Sounds like you should be wearing a weightlifting belt of some kind. Hang in there, buddy. We're going to be all right. So we are going to get into the subjects for the evening. We're very excited about this because it's a little bit different than what we do. We're going to keep trying to come up with ways to spice things up. You know, that like in any relationship, you got to go get a new gimmick, a new toy, keep things fresh. And if you want to, speaking of which, go hit up Juan.
Yeah.
He can help you with all of your marital aids.
AIDS?
He won't give you AIDS, but he can give you marital AIDS.
He can give you a dildo the size of your forearm.
The dildo the size of your forearm. He can give you a fake butthole that you can have sex with.
A fuck me silly 4.
Yeah.
A cock
He's not
ring,
gonna-
a fuck me silly 4.
won't
Hit up
give it to
Juan
you.
for your sex toy needs. So we are going to get into the meat of today's podcast, which is going to be
Nice.
that we are all going to try to. So we all came up with a killer. We didn't like make them up, but we all chose a killer, and we are going to try to each one of us is going to give a piece of information, and then we're gonna at the end of it we're going to vote on who was the most fucked up. So for me, I think there is a level of presentation here that's important, but I also feel like your guy either did the most fucked up thing or he didn't. But I am going to give style points, and I don't know how the other guys are going to judge it. But we'll take a vote here. We will ask you to take a vote at home, and we'll feel like we will do pretty well with this episode. And the next episode, I think we're going back to more of a media subject, but we'll also try to maybe figure out a way to present that as best as we can too. Before we get into it, I will ask you to subscribe, share. We're here every Friday night, and we will continue to be as long as we possibly can. I always feel like when I say that, I'm like a news broadcast that there's a nuke coming in, and they're like, we're gonna hang in there with you as long as we can. But that's how it kind of is, because the world is on fire. So I'm gonna go not first, but I am going to go. We're gonna say names. I just want to name first to see if we get some reaction, maybe from the audience, to see if we get a reaction. I know that my guy has at least been heard of. I know that at least Jesus has heard of him. So we'll go with names first. Ernie, who is your champion that you've brought to the gladiator, to the gladiator?
And give us some nicknames
Yeah, to the
too.
Gladiator Dome.
If he has
Yeah, go ahead.
So, My dude, his name is Joe Mathany, aka Tiny. He was like 450 pounds. That's why they called him Tiny.
Makes sense.
Joe Mathany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Mathany. They called him Tiny. Jesus, who is your champion in the Thunderdome today?
Andre Chikatilo, the Butcher of Rostov, the Red Ripper, or the Rostov Ripper.
Yeah, so I've definitely heard of yours. I'm going to keep from saying anything more than that, but I don't know a lot of details, so I'm excited to hear who you brought to the tour.
I hope I can tell you the details because I'm starting to feel it already.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Fucking lightweight, dude. Jude, who have you brought today to the Thunderdome?
The weakest player of all, Samuel Little. He was known as the man that
Samuel L.
used to...
Jackson.
Oh my god. No,
Samuel Little, go on.
Alright.
He's that's all I can say about Samuel Little. He's an old man. He was 72 years old.
Oh,
That's
nice.
interesting. And my champion in the Thunderdome today, standing at 6'9" tall, Edmund Kemper.
Giant.
He is also known as the Co-Ed Killer, the Co-Ed Butcher, and the Ogre of something. I forgot what it was. The Ogre of Aptos. Big Ed Kemper is what most people call him.
You say ogre, I think of Shrek.
Well, you're not that far off, donkey.
Shrek is love.
Oh no! Don't. If you're at home and you're like, I want to get this joke, you don't want to get it. It's not worth
you do.
YouTube, Shrek is love. You won't be disappointed.
You will be disappointed.
Shrek is life,
and you won't ever watch this live stream again.
Have you all ever experienced the spread of Shrek?
Do you want to be an all-star? Hey there.
Who's going up first? Who's going up first?
Hold on. There's this one part where he's like,
hold up.
I smell onions. It's Shrek.
God.
So, what I want to say is, like, how many people did y'all's dudes kill?
I feel like if I was a lawyer here, I would plead the fifth because it's not, for me, my killer's strong pursuit is not going to be body count. It's going to be the psychosis of what happened. So I will tell you later.
Okay.
Homeboy put down 56 kills.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Nice.
Jude? How many did the old man kill?
So, this man's totaled up to more than 90 across 14 states.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Fucking old man.
Yep. And he's currently 80 years old right now. Sorry, guys. He's 80.
He's alive?
And he has diabetes and a heart condition.
Diabetes.
But this motherfucker has killed over 90 people. So.
It's gotta be embarrassing if you get hunted down by someone that has diabetes.
Dick ass motherfucker.
Shout out to Pete Sager.
God.
So we'll go ahead. Does anyone want to volunteer to give your first little bit that you're doing?
Sure. I mean, well, my guy, he killed like 13 people.
Okay.
And he went after crack whores.
Crack whores. Oh. Crack whores, if you're listening.
Go ahead and
you better be
you know what? You don't even have to sponsor the podcast. Just send me a DM. How's that? Just yeah, exactly. Right. Just please slide. That is Deaf by Daylight. Just send a message. Title it "Crack Whore," and we'll get down to business. So go on, Ernie. Please tell us a little bit more.
How about your crack whores?
Well, when he was growing up, he was neglected as a child. His father was an alcoholic who was killed in a car accident when he was only 6, so, I mean, that sucks. and then his mother neglected them. His mother neglected her children. They had 6 children, and she worked double shifts, so she was always working. So
wait, was your guy Russian, or were you just doing an accent just cause?
I was just doing an accent because I fucked up saying mother.
Oh.
But yeah, so apparently, like, his mom usually sent him to like other families, like foster-like arrangements, because she was always working to try to provide for the family. So, I mean, he grew up pretty shitty, you know.
So I'll jump in with my guy. I feel like my guy is one of those perfect, I guess. Was he born a killer or was he raised into it? So my guy was born in the Soviet Union in 1930s. Yeah, he was from Russia. In 1936, he grew up during Stalin's Great Famine, where basically Stalin had all the farmers send all the fucking food to other parts of Russia. And everyone fucking grew up starving, hungry. His mother actually told him growing up, don't go outside late at night because your brother was fucking eaten alive by neighbors.
God damn.
Your next door neighbors ate your brother. And then growing up, his when we went into World War II, his father joined the army and he was a POW, which was considered they said, you know, if you're gonna fucking join the army, you're either gonna die for us or you're gonna fight for us. So being a POW fucking was really shameful towards the family. And he grew up watching Germany come into his home country, fucking dead bodies all over the floor. His mother was raped repeatedly by fucking German soldiers.
Repeatedly?
So, yeah, like just fucking multiple. You know, fuck you. All right, hold on.
There's your time limit on the first part. Yeah. Jesus, you detail-oriented motherfucker.
Yeah.
So my guy was he joined the army when he was 18 in 1973. So there's a little similarity there.
I'll allow the rebuttal, but Jude, you're up.
Jude.
She was all
I
like,
just want to acknowledge
like
Caesar's presence here. Caesar's here. Sorry, I was going to respond to him. But,
Caesar! What's up, buddy?
What up, Caesar?
He wanted to play Fall Guys, DVD. But yeah, so my guy, the small thing about this dude is, I guess since we're talking about where they were born, he had moved over to Georgia with his grandma. And his mom, because his mom was a prostitute. And the dad, they assumed it was one of her clients. So yeah, this man, they moved over from Florida to Ohio to his grandma's house, and she ended up taking care of him while the mom went off and did whatever. But yeah, he was in and out of prison 26 times before he was caught.
Holy fuck.
Since he was young, he was always committing petty crimes, just stealing, and then, of course, that escalated to assaults and rapes, and from there, just burglarizing, shoplifting, just all that different stuff. And in his mid-30s, he was arrested at 26, and that was when, during that time, they had found out they found out that he was being charged or looked for murder in another state, so he ended up getting transferred over there, but then released because they didn't believe the witnesses or the people that saw him with this girl, because they looked at him as an old man. They're like, this old man wouldn't commit this crime. He walked away free.
Damn. Christ with this shit.
Broken. Josh is broken, everybody.
So Ed Camper was raised by his mother and father, but they divorced when he was very young. His mother would would lock him in the basement and make him sleep on an old mattress down there because she repeatedly told him that. Did you get it? I said repeatedly, like a Zeus. Because she repeatedly told him that he was going to rape his sister, even though he never showed any signs of doing anything like that. Like, she just projected all of she was according to him was just absolutely evil and mistreated him his whole life. And he was quoted eventually saying that if a mother humiliates her son, he will have no choice but to turn into a monster.
What are you doing, step bro?
Oh, are you stuck in that washing machine? Cause so that's my first part of Ed Kemper. So just going over again, if you're joining in, we are going over 4 different killers. We're trying to compete with each other, and I will pass to names now so that we don't get this thing confused. But just so that I can write it down, please, when you are about to talk about your next part of your killer, go ahead and give me a name so that I can keep passing names around so we can keep track of this for the listener a little bit easier.
I mean, I think it would just be kind of interesting as far as, like, from what we've told each other, what similarities do our stories have with each other as far as serial killer-wise? Because you know how they say sometimes, they have these certain patterns.
So actually, I like that because, I mean, I have similarities to both you and Jude, where my dude, he actually joined the army, like your dude was in the army. He was 18 when he did so, but he's kind of like a liar in a sense, because his mom said that he served in Germany, but he said he did a tour in Vietnam, but he became addicted to heroin in an artillery unit there. But
again,
his mom
shooting heroin.
Yeah, his mom said that he's full of shit pretty much, that he didn't serve in Vietnam, and that by the time he joined, the American involvement in Vietnam had already ended.
Shit, yeah.
And then how he relates to Jude's character, though, he actually got arrested for the murder of 2 crackheads, because he actually had a wife and a kid. His wife was a crackhead.
Oh,
I'm gonna say crackhead a lot.
Gotta love them crack whores.
Yeah. So
Get out of here,
she just randomly took off from him, and she got the kid taken away by CPS because she was found doing crack under a bridge. Yeah. So he was pissed, and he went to go kill her under that bridge. Instead, he found 2 guys that would do drugs with her. She wasn't there, so he killed them.
Oh shit! He killed his mother?
No. He killed the 2 dudes that were doing crack with his kid's mom, so his baby mama. And then there was a fisherman on the side that had saw him, so he didn't want to leave any loose ends, so he killed that guy too. But they couldn't convict him because he ditched the weapons, but another homeless guy used the same weapon to kill another homeless person.
Oh shit!
The homeless are running rampant.
Yeah.
The homeless found that weapon. It's like, I'm gonna fucking kill someone.
Yeah, exactly. So
This is my chance.
There was just no evidence. There wasn't enough evidence to actually convict him of those 2 murders. So he walked free. I mean, of course, later on he confessed, yeah, I killed those guys.
What is the name of your killer again, Ernie? I'm sorry.
It's Joe Matheny. Tiny.
Joe Matheny. Alright, so we'll go ahead. So that's kind of not the first round, and now Ernie's gone into a little bit more. It's not going to work that way exactly, but now let's go to if you guys can feed off of similarities that you just heard, maybe then we can keep going that way. If not, I have a similarity here.
So I'll just jump in real quick as far as, and I won't jump in too much, but I'll talk about the whole...
Give me a name again, sorry.
Andre Chikatilo.
Andre Chikatilo.
So, in regards to the mother, he had watched his mom get raped multiple times through the German army. He would actually bedwet into his teenage years, and since they lived in a one-bedroom apartment, one-bedroom home, he would sleep in the same mattress with his mom and his sisters and such. So she would actually humiliate him and say, "What the fuck? What kind of man are you, bedwetting as a fucking teenage boy?" And she would shame him. So going back to what fucking Josh was saying, as far as the mom humiliating him in that aspect, she would do that multiple times, actually to the point where he had erectile dysfunction at the age of 14 years old.
Boom! I can connect to erectile dysfunction. So,
what?
Can you, Josh?
No, I didn't say I could relate. I said I could connect as far as my killer. So Ed Kemper would eventually say that he also felt, he said, I am not physically incompetent, but I am mentally incompetent because he felt like he just took so much abuse as a child from his mother that he couldn't have any feelings towards a woman at all without feeling humiliated. And so he also, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for I'm gonna put the ladder up to reach for that fucking briefcase a little bit early, knowing that someone's gonna knock me down, but I have a little bit of a fucking reach here. So he would move away from his mother to his dad's house when he was 15 years old, and then from 15 to 16, his dad and his stepmom got absolutely fed up with him, and he moved in with his grandparents. Then Ed Kemper, living with his grandparents, after about a year, decided to murder both of them. And
he murdered his grandparents?
Yeah, so he murdered his So first, he murdered his grandma while she was just like at the dinner table, and then he wanted to see. He admitted later to wanting to see his grandfather react to her dead body.
Holy
so
shit.
he hid, and while he waited for his grandpa to get home, and then once he like started screaming and shit, looking at her body, he fucking killed his grandpa. And he ended up in a mental institution from the ages of 15 to 21, which he also blames his erectile dysfunction on, because he says, while everyone else was going through their sexual revolution as young adults, he was stuck in a room with a bunch of other crazy people. So he eventually would say that also gave him his mental incompetence. Jude, whether or not you have a way to connect, you got to jump in because you're gonna miss that second round.
Talk about 90-year-old man and his limp dick.
Well, basically, kind of like Ernie's, this would be, like, say if this guy got away with those two, how Ernie's character got away with those two murders, how he's comparing that to mine. Well, after he had gotten released for those, or he was acquitted, this is just going back into, how he was progressing into his murders. After he was acquitted, he, left and moved to LA, and that's when he started, I guess you could say, murdering more people. So what ended up happening is he was found in a parking lot for trying to strangle this one girl named Lori Barrows, and she survived. And after a month later, they found him in a car with another woman, and she was unconscious and pretty much almost dead as well. And she ended up passing away. So he was charged for murder for that, and with the girl that got away, she testified against him, and, because he was in the same area, he finally spent time in prison for just only 2.5 years. And, yeah, so this man also lived in homeless shelters. So basically my point with this killer overall, I'm not trying to wrap it up yet, but he's more of a stealthy killer. He was getting away from law enforcement and using that to his advantage, his old age to his advantage. Nobody ever suspected an old man to
I definitely could connect with that if no one else wants to jump in.
Go for it.
So my guy, he had that very average appearance, and actually for the first few of his murders, when they were wanting to connect it with him, he would just kind of fucking be like, I am just a normal Russian man who I'm married, I'm a teacher, and they're like, oh yeah, that seems legit, all right, and the Russian police let him go, and they were looking in the area, and they found a guy who was convicted of rape for his first victim that he killed, and they're like, well, it has to be this guy then. And over there in Russia at the time, it was pretty much like okay, we just need to catch someone, and once we catch him, let's just fucking put the murder charge on him. So after the murder charge was on him, they killed that person. So this guy got wrongfully convicted for that first kill, and they're like, well, I mean, you have the history of it, you have this fucking guy, Andrei Chikatilo, he seems like a good person, we're not going to charge him, we're going to charge this fucking serial rapist who's already been in prison for, and they fucking killed that guy, so that guy died for his first murder.
Holy shit. So I can I can also connect there, and then Ernie, you'll round us out on the other way. Ed Kemper was released from prison or from the mental institution after killing both of his grandparents. He was considered by the state of California to have been rehabilitated, which is why he was chosen as my killer tonight, because he has the gift of gab. He was absolutely adored by everybody that ever knew him, even after he was convicted for everything that he would eventually do. He was loved by everyone but his family. The prison guards loved him. The other prisoners loved him. He has over 3,000 books recorded because he would do books on tape while he was in prison, and he would record them for the other inmates, and then to eventually be sold and distributed to prison systems throughout the United States. Everybody that met him said he was the nicest fucking guy, that he was funny, that he was relatable, that he was a good friend, and he convinced these people that he was good enough to get out of the mental institution, even though I will, in my next phase, tell you about how he still had some very severe problems, even after he got out of the mental institution. So, Ernie, you're going to round us out, and then we'll see if someone can connect to what you're saying.
So, one of the ladies that he killed, she was a 39-year-old woman that had been convicted of prostitution. Her name was Kathy Ann Magaziner. Not lying. And this was in 1994. So when he killed her, he took her to where he worked, he was a forklift driver in like a factory. So he buried her in a shallow grave at that factory, and then the body stayed there for about 2, maybe 3 years. And when he was actually convicted, he let the officers know that he had strangled her. And then after her body had decomposed, he went and dug up her skeleton 6 months later and threw it in the trash.
Jesus. So we're not at a halfway point because we started late, but we'll start up again here in a second. Let's go ahead and take a shot. Gibby, I know you've gotten kills. How many kills?
I haven't gotten kills yet, but I've gotten a shit ton of hooks.
Damn,
well,
no kills?
let's just take a shot.
Is this the first game after the second game?
Yeah. But
Oh,
this
man.
Claudette's probably gonna die.
Oh,
So-
I see why it's going on so long. You have a 5 stack on your fucking lullaby, so they're just not getting any gens then.
No, this Claudette's been trying to fuck around with me.
So for me, talking about this next shot, I ran out of bullet, and for my guy, since he is a Russian, I am shooting vodka now.
Oh, welcome to the club, my friend.
Vodka.
Vodka.
I mean,
Which actually, I guess I'll kind of throw this in as a fun fact or whatever. A lot of people hated my killer because he didn't like to drink vodka. He didn't like to drink, he didn't like to smoke, and a lot of other Russians were like, fuck this guy, man. Like, what the fuck does he not like to drink?
You fucking pussy.
My guy spent all his money on crack and heroin.
Ed Kemper was a notorious drinker, but he preferred beer. He had many beers at a bar called the Jury Room with a bunch of cops.
Wow.
So cheers to serial killers and their drinking habits.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One death.
So we feel like we have. I feel like there's a lot of parallels between our killers and what we're talking about. So I don't feel like it's ultimately the most important thing to let go. I think what we're doing is working. I think if you're jumping in at the middle of the episode, it might be... Cheers, Caesar. Happy to have you, bud. I think if you're jumping in the middle of the episode, it might be a little confusing, so I'll continue to try to say names when I can. But I really like the way this is going. So we'll start with Jude. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ernie.
So everyone knows, like, we're kind of building up because we want to we want to see who gets the gnarliest fucking killer. So far, they're all pretty gnar. I mean,
Yeah, no, they really
Zeus has
are.
a crazy Russian. Fucking Josh has a fucking psychopath. Jude
Dude,
has a fucking old man.
I can't believe fucking with Josh's, they were just like, yeah, you killed your grandparents. All right, we're gonna release you now. That's fine. Like,
Dude, it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. Especially because you're gonna find out what he's gonna do eventually.
yeah.
And it's pretty fucking raw. Like, definitely, I have my fucking magnum opus that I'm waiting to give at the end. So that's a great point from Ernie. And we're gonna continue. Again, I'll try to pass people with names. Jude, I need your guy's name one more time.
His name is Samuel Little.
Samuel Little. Okay, so
Samuel
right
L.
now,
Jackson.
Like
if
Kevin
you're
Little?
let me hold you, girl, caress my body. You got
Stuart
me
Little?
going crazy.
Fuck Stuart Little.
Fuck Stuart. I didn't think you'd have that strong feelings.
It's because there's a meme page on Facebook that's like some dude always talking shit about Stuart Little, and it's hilarious.
Turn me on. So we're gonna have the or just in order again before we start. So Jude is talking about Samuel Little, Ernie is talking about Joe Mathany, Jesus is talking about Andre Chikatilo, and I am talking about Ed Kemper. And so we're gonna go ahead and go another little session here. We'll check in with Gibby, and then we'll round out. Not that we're gonna have several rounds here, but I like that we had a segment and then a break to kind of bullshit. So, Jude, you're gonna start us off here. Go in a direction that you think we need to go, because if we're gonna keep trying to connect, you may not get a chance to get a fact out that you want to get out.
No, that's fine. Thanks.
Jude just gave you a fun fact.
Fun fact: Jude doesn't get a fun fact. So with this man, just after he had gotten arrested, well, he moved to LA, killed a few more people there, and pretty much got put away for the rest of his life. Was finally convicted. When when he gave himself up, or when he was arrested or whatnot, he always proclaimed as innocent up until 2018. And from there, he decided to talk to a state trooper and tell him hey man, I killed people, and they're scattered around different states, because he was just a homeless man just traveling everywhere. And basically, the way they confirmed the other deaths of individuals is this man took up painting and drawing all the victims' faces. And if you look them up, they're not bad, but those things were pretty much what helped the FBI confirm. Yeah, they confirmed 34 of his confessions of the 90 that he said that he.
Because of the drawings?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I guess they were finding cold cases. They were opening up new cold case files and different things, pointing out the faces of the individuals, and he was telling them where they were at.
So if anyone can connect, please do. But I would like to point out that I have never fucking heard of this guy before. So kudos to Jude to bring in someone that... I mean, he sounds not only prolific, but that's fucking creepy and awesome, and I had never heard of this guy before, so that's definitely points in some way or the other. Does someone have any way to connect to the art thing, or clues attaching later?
So for me, the only way I can really connect in regards to what Jude was saying is
Hold on.
in that travel basis. So my guy had a job where he would have to travel to different countries and to different states in regards to for his position. So he started really killing throughout three different regions. And in regards to the other part, as far as his cases, so back then the fucking Soviet Union, they would track everyone down by paper. There was no fucking forensic files as regards to all right, we're gonna track this person down. They would write everything down on fucking paper and say, okay, well, we arrested this guy for this, and this is how we're gonna keep track of these people. And due to wrongful cat and mouse games trying to catch Chikatilo, they ended up closing 245 rape cases and 95 other murders besides the actual Chikatilo cases. Just because
that are attributed to him?
No, just to other rapists and to other murderers. Just because their fucking tracking system was so poor, because everything was written down on paper. So pretty much, if someone would get killed, the fucking Soviet Union would do is they would write it on paper and like, all right, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, and they would just store it in a room, and the fucking cops would just try to go, okay, they really, when they were trying to catch Chikatilo, they thought, okay, this has to be either a mental person, this has to be either a gay guy, because at the time being gay was considered a felony. This has to be either done by the fact of someone crazy, and it wasn't like fucking Jude's guy where it was an old man. He was just he seemed like a normal citizen. He just seemed like a regular guy, and he kind of blended in. So when they were on this fucking wild goose chase, just trying to catch anyone, they ended up closing 245 rape cases and 95 other murders to other people, just because they were just trying to find anyone to fucking. They're pretty much were like, all right, we just gotta close this case. We're just gonna fucking link whoever we can to this, and we're just gonna start fucking interrogating everyone. And that's some of the results they had gotten from it.
So it's hard to tell, like, who exactly did what. Caesar, we've been very, like, we've told the names over and over again, so you can definitely put, like, if you haven't heard the name and you want to put it in the chat, by all means, go ahead, but we did, like, because we told each other, because we didn't want to come with the same killer, so we're going to try to figure out a way to do the other part, like, where we guess, like you're thinking it was, but right now, I've said their names, so, but if you want to guess, if you haven't heard it, I'll give you a chance to put it up there before I say the names again. And Ernie, you can go, because I can't really connect to that either.
I think it's crazy, because, I mean, my dude and Jutsu kind of have a lot of similarities, because, I mean, mine didn't draw his victims, but when he was in prison after he got, like, arrested for murder, finally, he would draw some pretty fucked up drawings. Like, there's this one where it's this dude with an upside down cross, and it's, like, going through his mouth to the back of his head, and, like, he drew, like, his dick hanging out, and it says, Reverend Willie, pastor of the damned, just keep coming for Jesus. Like, he just drew, like, a bunch of fucked up drawings in prison. Like, he was just
about
a fucked up dude.
It sounded like something that Jack Black would say.
Right?
Dude, that was fucking sweet. Like, the description and, like, that was fucking cool. It's so edgy!
But, I mean, just connecting on dicks. I mean, my guy when he was on trial, remember how I told you guys he had suffered from erectile dysfunction, and that was one of his things, is he was really angry that he had suffered from erectile dysfunction at a young age. He pulled his dick out.
Yes.
He pulled his dick out during the trial. He's like, "Look at this weak thing. How can this kill anyone?" Like, he was trying to go for an insanity plea, and everyone's like, "Dude, put your fucking dick away. God damn it!" Like,
well, so I can relate to that. Edmund Kemper talked at length with his about his dick. I'll read you the excerpt from one of his interviews. Here it goes. This is according to Edmund Kemper. You want to get that young pussy before they turn into mom, because once they turn into mom, you don't want to fuck them anymore. Here's a tip for you: fuck them in the asshole. The asshole is a hole that sucks in your dick. It's like a little pocket that just sucks it in there. It's the opposite of the throat. You see, the throat has a bunch of tendons that have gag reflexes, and they want to reject your dick, but not an asshole. An asshole almost wants to invite your dick inside and then keep it there. So he
was published.
I can relate to that,
dude. Yeah, go.
Preach, brother.
Yeah, so go. You can go.
Are throwing my dick out.
You can go look at that when he said that in an interview. and it's yeah. So he's also like very into talking about the sexual parts of his killing. That was a big thing for him.
If I may ask,
go ahead.
Did he rape people?
Yes, but so I'll get into part of that. So again, I have a very specific grand finale in mind, but I'll go ahead and start. I'll finish that round and then start the next round with the beginning of his killing after his grandparents. So he said that because he was so sexually stifled while he was in the mental institution, when he got out of the mental institution, all that he could think about was girls. And he said that he really loved, like, he was this big, giant, clunky dude. He's not a good-looking guy. Like, you can go look at what he looked like. But he loved, like, the idea of a very pretty girl. Like, he wasn't giving fucking uglier girls the time of day. Like, he wanted these really pretty girls. So what he decided he was going to do was that he was going to give them, he was going to just drive around, and then when because this is in the days of, like, hippies, this is, like, the late 60s, early 70s, so people are still accepting, like, rides from people, like, hitchhiking and shit.
Gotcha.
So he would just drive around until he saw a pretty girl hitchhiking, and then he would invite her into his car. And for the first couple of times that he went, he had his gun with him, and he had, like, a weapon, but he didn't pull them. Like, he actually just dropped them off and got off on, like, just the idea that he could if he wanted to, until he unfortunately finally did hold a girl to gunpoint and rape her and then kill her. And he went into, again, very disturbing interview that he did about how he just loved, like, in that moment, she was his. He loved her more than anyone else could possibly love her, and went and showed that in a way that she would have never consented to showing him. So and he admitted too that he could not, like, he couldn't get hard, he couldn't fuck somebody unless they were actively against what was happening. And so that is my spiel up until then. So he killed, I'm going to give a kill count now. He killed his grandparents. He killed 6 co-eds, so 6 young women in the time that he was active. Didn't rape all of them, but did kill 6, and then I'll get into the finale of that at some point. But that's where I'll finish and then pass it.
Yeah, so my dude, he kind of like yours. I mean, he wasn't the best looking dude. He was like a 450-pound guy, but he would lure these crack whores in, give them a bunch of drugs, and then violently rape them and kill them. So, I mean, just as fucked up. Except, I mean, he didn't really go after the pretty girl. He just went after, I mean, this girl. She's a crackhead. She'll fucking come in here and take some crack, and then I'll rape her. Like, that's his motto, I guess.
So, my guy actually kind of is very similar to both of yours. Actually, he didn't have a specific target in regards to his kill count. It's both women, men, children. There wasn't a very pattern like, okay, he was a pedophile, he only went for kids. He really just preyed on whoever was the vulnerable person at the time. He went for prostitutes, to the point when he started killing, he saw himself as a hero, that he was thinking, okay, well, these prostitutes, they're whores, they're fucking trash. I'm doing a service by getting rid of these people. And in that same sense in what Josh was saying, so my guy, again, he suffered from that erectile dysfunction. He was a school teacher. He got bullied by his students. They fucking smoked in class. They would make fun of him. They would actually beat him. They would beat him up in the alleyway, fucking with rocks and stones and shit. So he felt like, I'm not a man. So he started fucking, to prove his manliness, he wanted to start raping these kids.
What?
To show his dominance. And he held this one girl in detention, and he's like, all right, she's not behaving, and he beat the shit out of her, and the sight of her blood made him come instantly, and he discovered, oh my god, this is something like this is something I like, and it really scared him, and he was just like, all right, okay, this can't be it, and he beat more kids, and he started jerking off in class, and the fact that he had that power over these children really fucking excited him, and that's how he's.
How old were they? Like what grade?
They were like anywhere from like 9 to 13 years old at first.
Fuck?
Yeah,
So he was getting beat up by 30. See, that could have been the ending to Step Brothers. You know, remember when they got fucked up by those kids in the playground? They could have ended up fucking those kids.
Like going into his first kills and stuff like that. I guess they were very, they're vulnerable children. He had told this kid like, "Hey, come on, like I'll give you some bubble gum if you come with me into this forest." And the fucking kid was like, "All right, like that sounds good. I guess I like bubblegum,
I like forests."
But that's
I'm
really
kick your
how.
ass if you ain't got that bubblegum though, sir.
That's how he would finally actually get hard, is by the sight of blood and by the sight of pain and by the sight of torture. And when he was on trial, he had said that for him it wasn't. It started with the sex. It was obviously because he couldn't fucking get hard, but for him, it was also that fact in regards to the cries and the blood, the agony. It gave me relaxation and a certain pleasure that I couldn't find anywhere else.
I'd like to point out that Jesus may, much like Andre Chikatilo, blown his load early, because I don't know if we can get much more fucked up than.
Mine gets more fucked up, so we'll.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just wanted to point it out because Jude's gonna end this little round that we have going on. Hello.
Yes.
What?
Sounds like you guys have gone away. Sorry.
Yeah, we're all here.
So Jude is gonna end this like little session, and then we will get into the third act of what we're doing until someone has said something that is going to disgust everyone listening. So,
Also, if anybody wants, that was another 4K.
Fuck off,
Right.
Kitty.
So, before we go into that, because my guy is just short, we can take a shot to his death soon. Basically, he's gonna end up, pretty much dying. He's wheelchair bound, and like I said, he suffers from diabetes and heart condition.
Diabetes.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he lived his life, I guess, and murdered people, strangled them. But that's the end of Mr. Little.
That's it for you, Jude?
Yeah, he's tapping
There's
out,
no
man.
way you're gonna win, dude. One of us is gonna fuck your mom.
Not my mom. What?
Well, the deal was that whoever won, Jude couldn't fuck their mom. But Jude wouldn't, like, he can't participate in that, so we've got to reverse. We got to put it down, flip it, and reverse it. No, yeah, I mean, if that's the end of yours, the kill count, huge. The fact that he kept getting away with it as an old mains, huge. But already I think Jesus and myself and Ernie have you beat there. So we're going to take a shot to him. We're going to take a shot to an effort well played here. Jesus has somehow left the chat and is coming back. Jesus is back. So we're going to take a shot to
a double since this fool got 2 kills.
We're gonna fucking run on the second game. We're gonna run a 4K and take 2 shots.
Well, why not? Fuck it.
Oh my god. Okay.
You guys want a drink, right? I mean, like, I'll get you guys drunk if that's what you want.
No, keep playing your heart out, Gibby. Some people come here strictly for the Dead by Daylight. So, we're good with you fucking killing it. Jesus, can you hear us? Jesus, can you hear me?
Alright, I'm back, guys. I'm back.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I feel like the government was all like raping children. Alright, cut this fucking guy.
Cut this fucking asshole
It's
off.
done. It's done.
So we're gonna go ahead and cheers to Samuel Little. We're gonna cheers to Jude and his valiant effort. But I think everyone will agree with me here, and maybe they won't. But there's no way that wins, right?
No.
I thought you guys meant like than like brutal character as far as
Like, okay, like he could have been brutal,
the
but you
kill
didn't
count,
sell him, dude.
the
You
kill
didn't
count.
sell him.
Look,
What did I miss?
I'm not gonna
he drew.
I'm not gonna say he's out because you guys haven't given your big reveal yet. So, I mean,
Okay,
I
yeah,
think
sure.
his killer is pretty fucked. Like, I don't know. I think it's interesting.
I think
a
he's
fucking
up
old
there.
man that killed people, like 90 something. Come on.
Jesus killer raped kids. But let's go ahead and take this shot. And we'll go ahead. So we won't cheers to that ever here on Death by Daylight. We'll just go ahead and cheers. We'll cheers to Jude. Here, cheers, buddy. Go fuck somebody. Oh, it gets better and better.
I was gonna do Albert Fish. He's pretty brutal,
Oh no,
but I think
brutal.
I think he can have his own episode. To be honest,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and we tried to avoid that. Albert Fish 100% could be his own episode. So thank you for your sacrifice.
I do. I mean,
we're gonna go ahead.
You talked about like
yeah, please open
the demise, I guess, of his killer. Since he's wheelchair bound and diabetic and heart conditions and all that shit. I mean, my dude's dead. He died in 2017 on August 5th, so a few days ago. But in 2017.
Crack-related complications.
He was 62. I think he was a heart attack, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm not going to reveal the kicker yet, but he is dead.
Okay.
And you guys will be happy about that when I explain further later.
By the way,
Kemper's...
guys, just so you know, I'm using a Mori, so I'm gonna try and kill everyone.
Okay, let's get it.
Ed Kemper is still alive. He is in a prison in Oregon. And again, my kicker is coming, but I feel like I can put a little more line out before I reel everybody in.
My guy's dead too, obviously. I mean, I would, when I was discussing some of the other people who got convicted wrongfully for his murder, Russia didn't fuck around. Once you got convicted for murder, they would take you out of the back and put a fucking bullet in you. So
I almost fucking spit my beer out.
They were like, well, you're convicted for murder. They're like, all right, what's going to happen next? We're going to take you to the back and shoot the fuck out of you. Like, that's it.
Like Old Yeller?
It's over, buddy.
Yeah, a fucking Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Or George with the rabbits.
What is it from fucking The Walking Dead when they kill that little girl? Look at the flowers.
Well, yeah, that's a parody of Mice and Men when George is looking at the flowers.
Yeah.
If you had a literature degree, you might know that. Jesus.
I like Josh's disappointment in that because we all laughed at it, and then it brings up The Walking Dead.
Look, I don't.
Yeah, it's like the looking at the flowers from The Walking Dead.
Look at the rabbits, George.
Look at the rabbits, Georgie.
Talking about literature of Mice and Men, it's kind of like what's his name was like Lenny, kind of, right?
Whom was like Lenny?
Or not Lenny? Who is the
Lenny's the one. Lenny's the one that George is the one that's slower. Lenny is the one that like takes care of him. But who's like George?
Because he's like big and he wanted a beautiful woman. He was like this big
that's
guy.
true, except that Ed Kemper is unbelievably intelligent, which is like the only difference.
Oh, true.
Yeah, because George was George is a mentally handicapped person who is allowed to do this terrible thing. And Ed Kemper is incredibly intelligent and just can't help his impulses.
Did any of your guys have a family?
No.
I talked about mine. Remember he started killing because he was going after his ex-wife that left with the kid and got him taken away because she was a crack whore.
Ed Kemper did not have a family, no. But I will. If you talk about your killer's family, I'll jump in with some facts very similar to that.
So my guy, he got married. He had a family.
Going into the basement. All right.
He had 2 kids, but remember, he suffered from erectile dysfunction. He could not have sex with his wife. So what he would do is he would jerk off onto her belly button, and then he would get the fucking cum, and he would stick it in her to impregnate her. And they had 2 kids that way.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why did she fucking allow that?
Well, because again, remember he didn't like to drink, so he didn't beat her. He didn't smoke cigarettes, so she saw him like. I mean, compared to the Russians at the time, she's like, well, fuck. If I marry anyone else, they're gonna beat me all the time. They're gonna be drunk all the time. So she allowed that his fucking weirdness and his impotence to be like, all right, well, fucking let's have a family with this fucking weirdo, you know?
Okay.
That is creepy.
So we'll get into like the little last round here, but I'll connect to that, and then we'll get into like the little to everyone's reveals here. Ed Kemper was a guy. Again, I said that everybody loved him, but he was specifically loved by the police, and he was able to get away with certain things because he hung out with almost exclusively cops. He wanted to be a motorcycle police officer. He was just too goddamn big to do that. But he hung out at cop bars. All of his friends were cops. And so the reason he got away with a lot of the stuff that he did was because all of the cops that loved him so much, would tell him all the details about their cases, and he learned how to not get caught. But more important than that is the true connection that he had with these people. There were cops that were crying when he was arrested. There were cops that were crying when he was convicted, because he was such a likable person. He is quoted as saying that some of the prison guards in the prison that he's still in have been some of the best friends that he's ever had. So just incredibly likable, and even though he didn't have a family, still that kind of hiding in plain sight kind of thing, where he was such a likable person that there was just very little getting around that part of him. So we're gonna go into our finales here. I feel like mine is worthy of anyone else's, but I know that the other guys feel that way as well. So I don't know how we should decide who goes first. I have a D&D dice here, and we can split the numbers up and see who goes first. I feel like whoever goes last has a slight advantage, so you guys tell me how you want to do this.
I call last because I started.
What? No way. I feel like the fairest thing is the D&D dice.
Well, I'm up for whatever. I don't care.
Well, if you don't care, you should go first.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll go into detail a little bit about his killings. So my guy, he has 56 kills. It took 9 hours of jury during the trial to go through detail of every single one of his killings. So going through one of his killings, he used to mutilate the bodies to the point where he had this impression that the last thing that a person sees is the killer. So he would cut out their eyes to make sure that he didn't leave any evidence in their eyeballs. He would cut out their uterus, cut out their heart, cut out their genitalia. He would rip off their lips and tongues with his own teeth, and he would just chew them. He wasn't a cannibal. He voiced that, I never ate them. I would just chew them just to chew it for flavor. He would like to, that's what his enjoyment was. He enjoyed most of his victims that he would kill. They couldn't identify the bodies because they were stabbed 50-something times. Again, he was impotent, so some of his early victims were his first girlfriends who would make fun of him for being impotent. One of his victims that he had met later on in life, she had a child, and he met up with her, and he was like, let's go have some fun, let's have some sex. And she's like, well, I have my daughter with me. He's like, no, that's cool, bring her along, I'll give her this doll. And what he ended up doing is he ended up bashing her head in with a fucking hammer, and then cutting the daughter's head off. He decapitated the daughter and threw it into the fucking forest, where it took forever, the police, for them to find the daughter's head and the daughter and the body at the same time.
That's where I've heard this guy before.
A lot of his killings, when he was standing in trial, they had to put him in a cage because everyone who was there to talk about their families, you know, they feared that the media or the people would go ahead and attack him, so they had him in a cage, and he just did not give a fuck. There was never any sympathy in regards to his killing. It was just like, you know what? Yeah, he went into very detail in regards to, yeah, I chopped this person's head off. I fucking bit off. For most of their victims, he bit off their nipples with his teeth, bit off their tongues with his teeth. And he would just chew him and then fucking spit him out. He was just like, yeah, it was that whole power thing. He's like, as soon as I got that taste of me controlling this person, it didn't matter if it was an old woman, if it was an old man, if it was a young boy, if it was a young girl. It was just, I had that power over him, and due to that, I finally was able to exceed and have an erection, and killing these people, it made me happy. This was the only thing in life that ever made me happy. And when they told him,
Jesus fucking Christ.
So
when he was saying, he's like, you know what, I grew up being humiliated, and I wanted to kill myself when I was younger, because my mom, you know, the mom, I told you, like, the mom said, oh, you're a bedwetter, you're this. The judge just said, well, why didn't you fucking just kill yourself? Like, why couldn't you just kill yourself and save this fucking harm? And the thing that fucking sucks for my guy is, he was convicted for only 55 of the murders. So could you imagine being that, like, that one family where they're like, well, we didn't have enough evidence, you're never gonna get that fucking closure, but he admitted it at the same time. This guy was just a fucking monster, to the point at the end he was just like, you know what, yeah, I'm a monster and I know what needs to happen, so put me down. And they did. They fucking put a bullet behind his head.
So let's continue first by absolute round of applause here. That was truly disgusting. Fantastic work, Jesus. I feel like you really caught the spirit of what we're trying to do here, and did a great job presenting just enough, and then really fucking us up with information. Just very, very well done. And then I'll pass it to Ernie and Jude to say what you want to, and then one of us will go next.
I got a little bonus for you too that I'll just throw at the end when everyone's done talking. Oh, well, okay, so so we could wrap my guy up. So remember how I told you his first killer, they wrongfully convicted some guy and they killed him?
Yeah.
Yes. So this guy went on a killing spree from 1978 to 1990, but when they finally decided to kill him. So the cops went up to the guy's mom and they were like, "Hey, you know what? We just want to let you know we fucked up and we killed your son wrongfully due to this guy's murders." And she goes, "I didn't even know my son was dead. I thought he just stopped talking to me because he was an asshole."
God damn, dude.
So
they're like, "Yeah, we're just kidding, ma'am. We didn't wrongfully kill anybody."
Yeah,
he's an asshole.
She just thought that he was an asshole who stopped talking to her for whatever reason because he got shamed due to his convictions of rape and shit. So
Also,
moving forward,
another
go ahead,
4K.
Gibby. All right, Gibby, calm down.
We'll end with those two.
yeah, we'll figure those out. Actually, let's take one now so we don't have to deal with it. Gibby's gonna keep playing, but we are not honoring any more shots after these last two. So just so he can, because we're not really done time wise yet. So if he wants to keep playing, he's gonna keep playing. But these are the last shots we're gonna take. We hope you enjoy them at home. We're gonna take one now, and then after Ernie and I talk towards the end, we'll take another one. I'm gonna go ahead and cheers to both. Actually, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's cheers to Andre Chikatilo, you sick fucking bastard.
The Red Ripper, the Butcher of Rostov.
Very well done, Jesus. I felt like that was really well done. Cheers.
That was. I agree. He definitely blew mine away.
Fucking lip dick bastard.
So, oh no. So before that, Jude and Ernie, your thoughts on Jesus' killer?
Yeah, he was pretty fucking intense. He was, yeah, man, that guy was pretty brutal for not being able to get his dick up.
Right?
So That's fucking.
The whole
that whole shit with his wife, that whole sex life,
was nasty.
poor lady, man. Jesus Christ. Popsicle sticks and shit.
Yeah.
You, Ernie?
Yeah, I agree. Like the whole fucking artificial insemination thing, that's fucked.
For some reason, the nipple biting off thing bothered me more than most other things.
He did that to every victim afterwards.
Yeah, that's why he didn't like. It wasn't like just women that he was biting the nipple to. Like whoever the fuck he killed, he wanted to bite the nipple off.
Genitalia,
he essentially
everything.
took the time to do it. It's like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, you're dead. I'm gonna do this now.
Dude, he got so good at it.
Fucking
he got so good at it that he knew where to stab the victim at, so where he didn't get as much blood on him anymore.
Oh my God,
just because, yeah, the cops thought at one point it was a fucking surgeon who was killing these people because he, like I said, he had that image in his head that the last thing someone sees is their killer, so he's like, oh, I gotta fucking erase this evidence from their eyeballs.
Dude, that shit's fucking crazy. The eye shit.
All right, no extra time.
All right, go on.
So that was Andre Chikatilo. Very well done, Jesus. Very well done to Andre Chikatilo. I will honor Ernie's request to go last because he went first. I feel like that's fair enough.
How about we do this? I'll give you a little bit more on him, and then I'll let you do your reveal, and then I'll give a last final words.
I don't like this, but go ahead.
So my dude, he would kill his crack whores, right? You know, I told you I'm gonna say crack whore a lot.
Yes.
The way that he would dispose of the bodies, he would cut them up, ground them up. He said they tasted like pork.
He ate them?
Yeah. They tasted like pork. The way that he got caught, he lured this one girl named Rita Kemper in. He lured her in that he was going to do drugs with her, and then as soon as he got her into the room, he started violently raping, taking her clothes off and trying to rape her. And what he said, he's like, I got her in there and started to rip her clothes off and knock the hell out of her. She was screaming. I just kept laughing at her. So she thankfully was able to make a run for it. She jumped an 8-foot chain link fence with barbed wire on the top. And then there was actually, even before she could get to the 8-foot fence, there was a stack of pallets there that was about 10 feet high. She just fucking got over all that, got to a fucking gas station and called the cops, and that's when they got to him.
Sounds like my first time I lost my virginity.
Okay. He said that, during everything, his only regret was not killing his ex-wife. That's the reason he started killing people, because he wanted to get revenge on her for losing their son and her being a crack whore and leaving him. He said it ended up being a passion for the taste of blood for her and the overwhelming sense of power one gets from taking the life of another. So eventually he just loved killing people and hacking them up and saying they tasted like pork. So he said he had a special meat.
All right. So I'll go ahead and go last, or do my last part before Ernie goes last. Edwin Kemper, a week before... What the fuck is that noise? I'm monologuing. Edwin Kemper, a week before his final two victims would die, decided that they were going to die. And they would be the last two murders that he would ever commit before he would go to jail. So his mother is out one night and she gets drunk at a party, and she comes home and she tells Edmund Kemper, she says, I have not had sex with a man in 7 years because of my fucked up son, and I cannot escape the fact that he murdered his grandparents in cold blood, that he's always been a pervert, that he's always been some kind of sick fucking bastard. And Edmund Kemper's mother sits down on the couch and she turns on the television. Edmund Kemper decides that he's going to go upstairs. And he sits in his upstairs bedroom and he starts to contemplate and relax in a way and try to figure out what he's going to do about this, because he's always felt humiliated by his mother. He's always felt like he is like he's an outcast, like he doesn't have any way to get away from this. And so what he does is that he decides that he's going to grab a claw hammer, and he goes downstairs and he takes that claw hammer and he bashes his mother to bits while she is screaming for him to stop. And he tells her, "I'm going to humiliate you in ways that you couldn't even imagine humiliating me, and I'm going to do it after you can't even help yourself anymore. I want you to feel every second of pain I'm about to inflict upon your body." So he eventually beats her to death with this claw hammer. And he takes her body and he carries it upstairs in his arms, in between his two arms, he carries it upstairs. And he lays her on her bed, and he gets a bone saw, and he hacks her head off, and decapitates his own mother. And then he leaves the body there, because there was someone else that had tormented him his whole life, who was with his mother that night at the party. And he goes to her house, and he kills her best friend, who had also apparently tormented him throughout his life, and he rapes his mother's best friend's dead corpse after he's killed her, and then returns home. When he returns home, he sits amongst the blood and he enjoys himself a beer. He has a nice cold beer. And he then proceeds to go upstairs, and his mother's dead corpse is bent over the edge of the bed. And while it's bent over the bed, he tells her, he says, "I'm going to humiliate you now in a way that you couldn't even have imagined." And he anally raped his dead mother's corpse without any lube. He used the blood as lube to anally rape his mother's corpse. And then as a final act of disgust towards this woman who had abused him his entire life, he took her head that he had decapitated earlier, and he fucked her mouth until he came, and then said that that was the best orgasm that he had ever had in his entire life. And then he eventually would try to dispose of the bodies, but he was eventually caught, obviously, and then admitted to these horrors. But just to, again, put a cap on things and conclude, he anally raped his dead mother's corpse, and then raped her decapitated throat that he had cut off of her body. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is Edmund Kemper.
It's pretty fucked.
That sounds like
better shut your mouth before I fuck it.
It sounds it sounds like my typical Saturday night. I don't know.
I can't believe that's fucked up. I cannot imagine, like, somebody fucking doing that. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Why did he get released from the fucking mental ward? Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So he got released from the mental ward. I mean, way before any of the. So I mean, he had only killed his grandparents at that point, and like I said, I mean, even after people knew this shit about him, even after people were like, okay, like he did these things, he's made friends since then. Like the people that have met him after just are so enamored and charmed by who he is that they even are friends with him despite knowing this really fucking horrendous fucking story. And I think that is one of the biggest testaments of all, but truly fucking fucked up. So that's why I didn't want to talk about body count earlier. I felt like it just went against me on the board, but truly psychotic, I think, is the best word to use here. And so that's the end of my time. You all have been absolutely wonderful. And,
go ahead and applaud Josh on his
sound clip
on his story. Now, I like head just like every other guy, but that is it's a new definition of getting head, I guess.
Fucked his dead mother's decapitated head. Yes.
Who wouldn't?
Oh, okay. Okay, alright. So Ernie's gonna bring us home, and I mean, let's fucking go. I'm glad that we went with this format. I think it's brought the best out of all of us, so I'm excited to hear what Ernie's got.
So, what I gotta say is, do y'all remember Courage the Cowardly Dog?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember that one episode where Courage went with Eustace to get food because Muriel was sick and she couldn't make dinner? So they end up going to that one restaurant, and Eustace
a diner.
And Eustace is chowing down on a burger, and the waiter's like a pig, right? Remember?
Yes, that was a horrific episode.
And then one of the guys in the diner goes to the restroom and never comes back, and then the pig takes his stuff, and Courage starts to freak out and think that they're killing people and putting them in the burgers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So Joe Matheny killed crack whores, hacked their bodies up, ground their meat, and would eat it, said it tasted like pork. Well, I told you guys he worked in a factory, right?
You did.
Okay. So...
But wait! There's more!
So he actually had another job where he had a burger stand. He would hack his victims up, mix their bodies with pork, and serve it to people in the shape of a sandwich or a burger. And that's how he got rid of his evidence there.
He's Sweeney Todd.
Is that why you're vegan now?
Yeah. That is exactly why I'm just kidding. But no, he would... The way that he got rid of his evidence was by serving it to other people, so... Disturbingly, the evidence that could have convicted him on more cases that he got convicted for was likely digested. Just imagine, you go to this fucker's, like, burger stand, and you say that you had the best burger of your fucking life,
yeah, and
then a week later on the fucking news you found out you ate a fucking crack whore?
Well, I'd be like, for $8, that's cheap.
I'd be upset because I'm not gonna pay money to eat a crack whore. I pay money for the crack whore to eat me, if you know what I'm saying. You know?
There you go. Give him that meat.
And that's Joe Matheny, everybody. He's the infamous burger killer.
Crack whore butcher.
Yeah, so a lot of people say that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog is based off of Joe Matheny, especially since that pig guy is so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the theories of that episode is based off of this guy.
All right. So that is the pinnacle of our storytelling here. We will get a vote. If you're still listening, God bless you. We're very far into this episode, but go ahead and vote down below if you care to. Again, Joe Matheny, the crack whore butcher. You've got Andre Chikatilo, the nipple eater. You've got Samuel Little, the old mains or Edmund Kemper, who fucked his dead mom's head in the face. So go ahead and vote. And if you care to, we're going to go ahead and vote as well. And the way that I'm going to do this is that I'm going to assign points 1 through 4. And we're just going to put people on the spot. We're just going to make them do it. So, Jude, give me your 1 through 4 as far as voting. And I will keep track of points.
I mean, I have to go with Edmund as my number 1.
Okay.
Fuck. The next one is kind of hard. The reason why for Edmund is just the fucking of his mother's head and anal raping. That's rough.
Yes.
Yes.
It's because we got a guy that's eating people, and then we have a guy that fucking. Well, not only is his character eating people, but he's feeding it to other people. But then that little small dick, I'm gonna rape kids and do all this crazy shit, beat them up.
Yes.
Fuck. I feel like the trauma that one man may have placed on people would put Jesus's at the top. I mean, of course there was trauma, but this man was disposing of everybody. But I'm pretty sure this guy did some shit to children that they had to fucking grow up with for the rest of their lives and shit.
Well, so give me top and then give me second place.
I'm gonna do yours is the top character.
Okay.
Then it would be Jesus second and Ernie's third.
Well, you have to vote for yours as well. So does that change it? Okay.
Yeah. You're not including me anymore.
Jesus, you're gonna vote next.
For me, I mean, I don't want to sound like biased, but for my guy, the fact that he killed 56 women, children in that aspect, it was more of him. He was doing it for the pleasure of torturing people. It wasn't just because it was a sexual fantasy. So the research that I did on guy, it was really fucked up. So I'm gonna put my guy first.
Can I butt in real quick?
I'll put Kemper as third.
Can I butt in real quick?
Second, and then Jude's is last.
Can I butt in real quick?
No, it's your turn now, so go for it.
I say, instead of we doing it this way, we just have the person that didn't talk about a serial killer vote and say who's the worst, and that will be the winner, instead of the three of us doing it.
I mean, I like my way, so... I mean, Gibby can vote too if he wants, but I don't think it should fall strictly on Gibby.
I appreciate
I'll
that.
go fuck myself then.
Yeah.
Okay. For sure, I want to say Jude's is last. Like he didn't bring up the story. Like he didn't round it off right.
Okay.
Edward Kemper's a fucking crazy as fuck. So.
All right.
Let's see. Hold on. Before he's not third, by the way. I'm gonna say the one that Jesus said is third.
Okay.
I say Ernie's second.
Okay.
And then yours is the most fucked up one, like the way he did it at the end, and that, at least in my opinion, from what I heard.
All right. So we've got. All right. So I've got that down. I'm also gonna vote for me first. There's a reason I presented it that way. Jesus is going to get my second place vote. Ernie is going to get my third place vote. And then Jude is going to get my last place vote. So Ernie, you're the last one to vote.
So, I mean, the winner for sure is Ed Kemper.
All right.
And then I'm actually going to unpopular opinion here. I like the idea of Jude's killer just because he was an old man, and I think it's embarrassing to get fucking killed by an old man.
Okay.
As second, and because of his body count.
Yes.
He has the highest body count out of everybody.
Sure.
So I'm gonna vote him second, and then mine third because I would fucking want to die if I ate another person.
Okay.
And then the nipple biter.
Okay.
It's more than nipple biting, guys. He fucking chewed up the uterus, and he would chew up their dicks and their vaginas. I don't understand why he didn't just chew bubble gum. Like, it's more tasty.
Look, you presented the nipple biting a little bit more extravagant than the dick biting, so nipple biter is his name now.
All right, yeah, I mean that's fair enough. He bit off a majority of their nipples with his teeth. That's fine with me, but.
All right, so with everybody voting in fourth place, we have Samuel Little, aka Jude, with 7 points. Coming in at third place is Joe Matheny, who came up with 12 points. In second place, we have Andre Chikatilo, who came in at 13 points. And with 18 points, the winner of our first ever Killer Surprise is Edmund Kemper.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Caesar says, hi, it's Michelle. Just got a quick break from the bar. Wanted to cheers y'all. Hey, we'll fucking cheers you right now, Michelle. We'll give you a shot anyway. Cheers, Michelle. We love you. Thanks for tuning in when you can. We'll go to see you soon.
Maybe tonight. What?
Don't tempt me with a good time. Very fucking well done, everybody. I feel like this was one of our best episodes ever. I feel like it's a shame that we had fewer listeners, which I think like a lot of people would avoid admitting, but I want to admit because we need to do a better job getting the word out because this was fucking good. There was a lot.
This was fun.
The competition brought out the best in everybody, and everybody brought fucking A game to the table. So we got to keep going on this wave, and keep coming up with stuff to make the episodes better. With that in mind, go ahead.
Actually, like when we started this podcast, I had heard of Joe Matheny like way before we started the podcast actually, and I was like, I want to talk about this guy one day, but I just don't feel like there's enough of him to make a whole episode about it. So I'm glad we got to do this today because when like we decided we were gonna do this, I was like, boom, I can finally talk about this sick fuck and present it to everybody else, you know?
I mean, to be honest with you, just hearing from like the stories for everyone, I'm sure, like I know for me on my end, there's so much more that we could go into detail. I know there's so much more that we could go into some of their other killings and that aspect. So, you know, who knows? We might bring these guys up again later on. And it was so cool to hear everyone's different stories and as far as what they've researched. Again, it was a fucking sick episode, and I'm glad anyone who is out there still listening right now, thank you so much for sticking around with us and listening to us talk about these sick fucking bastards that we did some research on this week.
Yeah, and thanks for fucking Gibby for fucking doing fucking good on the killing today.
Dude, and playing for as long as he did, I mean, it's not like a fucking piece of cake to keep that level up for a long time, and so we're gonna, if he is available, we will do this again because I also think it helps everyone stay engaged with the conversation to have Gibby playing while we do this. Ernie's the one that came up with this format, which I mean, absolute kudos. I thought it was. I said from the very beginning that I thought it was a good idea. I couldn't imagine that it was going to go this well. I think it's one of our best episodes because again, just we know each other. We're friends in real life. This is not something that we're like. We talk about this kind of shit, you know, more than right now. So the competition brings the best out of us. We want to one up each other, and I thought it did wonders for keeping us engaged in this conversation. So kudos to everybody involved, man, from top to bottom. Just really, really great job to everybody. Again, I will ask that the 6 people still watching like, subscribe, tell your friends that we have this kind of fucking content going out. If they're here for Dead by Daylight, we had fucking 3-4Ks tonight, so there's no excuse about like, you know, like if you're just here to watch the gameplay, man, fucking mute us and watch Gibby fucking tear shit up. You know what I mean? Like he fucking gave you grade A content tonight. If you're here for the talking part of it, this was one of the best episodes we've ever done. So please let your friends know that we are here every Friday night, and we will do a better job letting everybody know. We everybody has lives, and so it's kind of hard to, especially with everything going on in the world, and not just Chadwick Boseman, but all the other shit, fucking Jacob Blake, and all the other stuff that we're going through right now. It's very, very difficult to keep this up, but we have to keep doing it. So, and we're happy to give you that break once a week, and we're very honored to be here and that you're listening. So, that's our time. We're gonna give everybody their minute to talk about whatever they want, and then we will sign off. Again, thanks for everybody for listening. Go ahead.
One more thing. Next week, we're going to be talking about, like, some random-ass B-rated movies. So, be prepared to come and hear some funny shit.
Yeah, next week's episode is going to be funnier than this week's was, certainly. If you want... I'm not going to tell you who's talking about what, but I will tell you that if you want to go watch some movies so you can know what we're talking about, we will be talking about, for sure... We'll be talking about Zombiever, and if anyone else knows what they're for sure talking about, you can go ahead and say it now. But I know that that's what I'm talking about. So we've got B movies next week.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't know what I wanna. I don't know which one I want to bring to the table yet, but it's gonna be fun next week, guys.
Yeah, next week's gonna be like a more lighthearted episode, and again, I promise we're gonna do better to promote it so that more people can be here and participate. And everyone's going to get their minute to say whatever they want, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off. We'll start with Ernie. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go, I guess. Thanks for coming, everybody. R.I.P. Chadwick. Let's have fun next week. Peace.
Fuck yeah. Gibby, go ahead.
Oh, I had a lot of fun killing people today.
Metaphorically.
Yes, metaphorically.
Or with his dick.
Not with your dick. Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, I'll be able to do this again next week, so you can expect more killing.
Fuck
if there's anyone that wants me to be a particular killer, let me know and I'll practice up on them.
Yes, excellent point. If you want Gibby to work on a particular killer, go ahead and leave that in the comments right now, or contact one of us, and we'll go ahead and tell him to practice. Jude, go ahead.
Just want to thank everyone for listening, that's there, still listening, and that has, listens to this after it's been recorded. Appreciate that. And, yeah, have a good night, and come back again and hear more about our little serial killer stories.
Nice. Jesus, you're up.
I know we talked a lot about erectile dysfunction, so Viagra, if you're out there, if you're listening, support us. If any of y'all want to listen to more about Chikatilo, they made 3 movies about him: Citizen X, Evelinko, and Child 44, starring Tom Hardy. Definitely go check those out, guys. This guy's a fucking sick fuck, chewing up uteruses, chewing up penises, biting off nipples. But then again, sounds like my typical Saturday night. So, y'all have yourself a good night, y'all.
Oh, one more thing before we go. If anybody in listening later on or listening now, if you guys want to get back to hearing Drunk Jesus, remember 50 likes on the next flyer.
50. I just want to let y'all know.
Likes.
if y'all put 50 likes. I got these ladders for sale.
we got these ladders here. I usually don't do my minute because I usually talk a lot, but I feel like it was pretty balanced. So I'm gonna use my very brief moment to say Wakanda for fucking ever, baby. Chadwick, you did so much for the.
Wait for it.
I know.
Wait for
it. Dramatic pause. You did so much for the culture. You did so much for the MCU. You did so much for fucking young black people everywhere looking for a fucking superhero. It is absolutely devastating that you're gone. Wakanda for fucking ever. Chadwick Boseman, rest in power from Death by Daylight. I mean, well, there's only 5 people listening, but I don't give a fuck however many people listen to this, they need to hear fucking Wakanda Forever, Chadwick Boseman. Rest in power, baby boy. Yeah. And go ahead and sign off, everybody.
Peace.
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 Fuck the free world.
Yeah, I'm still.
I see.
Oh,
yeah, we're
no.
alive.